Alright, hello, friends, fiends, ghouls, fellow horror book lovers. Today we're going to be showing off our Paperbacks from Hell, our classic paperback horror books. And we will be doing this in honor of our upcoming video with Paperbacks from Hell collaborator Will Erickson. This is going to be live right here, Saturday, July 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a question and answer video, which means I'm going to talk to Will for a minute, ask him some questions, get the conversation rolling, and as it goes, you can ask questions in the chat. We'll pop them up on screen, and he can answer them, hopefully, depending on what they are. So before we start this here showcase of our horror books, I wanted to talk about the history of it, and it starts right here. In 1927, Howard Phillips Lovecraft published an essay called Supernatural Horror in Literature. This is all about what he deemed responsible, the influence of the horror literature that was happening at the time in the 1920s. He talks about his influences and horror literature of note. 90 years later, in 2017, we have this book here, Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix, an essay of sorts showcasing the horror paperbacks. So I thought that we would flip through here, find what books that we have. So this is only going to be books that are actually pictured in this here wonderful edition of Paperbacks from Hell. And if I've read them, I'll talk about them, and if I haven't read them, I'll just show off the covers. Alright, so here we go. Alright, the first book pictured in here is The Little People with the Nazi Elves, infamous cover, painted by Hector Garrido. We do not own that book. That is a very expensive book. I heard it's not that good of a book either. John Christopher. We got some classic Gothic books here. We actually do have this book, but it's buried in our Gothic collection, and I didn't want to dig it out. Got some more Shirley Jacksons here. I'm not going to show off every cover that they got going on. Rosemary's Baby. I actually don't have that. I have, of course, seen the movie like everyone else. We got some Dowry, Dennis Wheatley. I do have Dennis Wheatley. What was that? My glasses? The cat knocked off the glasses. I do have some Dennis Wheatley, but I do not have To the Devil a Daughter. I have some of the Black Magic books. Alright, when are we getting to the books that we got? Let's go. Come on. Alright, here we go. Here's the first ones. So we got here, pictured here is Isabel. I guess you could call it Isabel. And we have The Satan Sleuth, which we did a review of. So let's find those books. Parkhurst. M-N-O. Alright, so we got the Isabel. I haven't read it. I have not read this. This is a UK edition. We found it at the book fair. It was $1, believe it or not. We were very, very lucky to find that. Not even that long ago. But here is the Satan Sleuth, written by Michael Avallone, king of the paperbacks. This book was more of a weird menace type story, like a Scooby-Doo kind of story. I did a review of this one. It's up on the channel. I'll put a link for that somewhere. Alright, and we carry on. We got The Succubus, Exorcism. There's some John Ferris. We do have some John Ferris, but not those. I think, you know what? What's that? Oh, that Sacrifice down there? Henry Sutton. Alright, so this is kind of cheating, but we have the hardcover. So, not in the book. I don't know why I'm showing it. I'm breaking my own rules already. Oh, we wish we had the Black Exorcist. I found a seller on eBay who was selling a bunch of Holloway House books, but there was no Black Exorcists. And if there was, it would have been too much money. Alright, so we got a couple here. Sentinel and the Guardian. Let's pull those out. Alright, there's the Guardian. And I believe, we do have the Sentinel, but I believe I have it in the movie novelization section, so we're not going to show that one. Alright, we got In the Name of the Father here. We have that one, John Zadro. There we go. This is one I have not read. He comes from unfathomable realms of darkness. He will be priest, bishop, cardinal, pope, for his is the kingdom and the power and the unspeakable terror prophesies to come. Have not read that one. I don't know. It's on the A Chilling Novel of Occult Terror. Evil Priests. My wife loves Evil Priests. Alright, what do we got here? We got Legion up here in the corner. And we got Dagon down there. Look at this. What's the name of that one? Oh, the Gilgul. That is one we don't have. That is wonderful. Definitely worthy of a full page. Alright, there's our Legion. Got some step back there. There's our Dagon. Speaking of H.P. Lovecraft. An Ancient Secret, A Living Nightmare. Step back art. We picked this up at Pulp Fest last year. By the way, Pulp Fest is coming up. First week of August. If you've never been, it's a wonderful place. Find old pulps, old magazines, old comic books, and of course, lots of old paperbacks. And I'll put a link for that down there in the description. You can go check it out. Alright, next page right away. We got the Keep. And we have the Tribe down there. Let's pull those out. Alright, there is the Keep. F. Paul Wilson. This was made into a movie. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen that they just put it streaming. I thought it wasn't streaming for a long time. Problem with the rates, I believe. And then here's the Tribe. Barry Wood. I think we got the hardcover version of this also. Some step back art. Oh, I wish that we could find some of those. Satan's Mistress. Satan's Seductress. That looks good. Those stars, that's a British publisher. Let's see. Michelle Remembers. We do not have Michelle Remembers. We don't have any of those. Here we are in the Creepy Kids section. There's the Omen. The Omen 2, Final Conflict. I've seen those in the store, but I'm not really into the Creepy Kids, though I do have quite a few of them because that's all I was able to find for a while. Alright, so we got Crib. Yeah, Crib there. We don't have it. Edit that part out. Got a full page here of Spawn, which we do have. We've got a beat up copy of it, and I believe I found it. Where did I find Spawn? I think in an antique mall, maybe? So there we got Spawn. It's in a bag, so we got the glare. It's bag worthy. I haven't read Spawn. It's definitely a creepy kid. Unwanted they died, unborn they lived. Let's see, we've got Moonchild here. Moonchild. They loved their little boy, if only they could bury him. So yeah, I don't know. I have not read The Moonchild. A beloved boy dies, but sorrow turns to horror when he lives again. I don't know that one. Like I said, not a big fan of the creepy kids. Lupe. We have Lupe. Alright, there we go. There's Lupe. The Vatican, 5th century AD. Pope Gregory is ordered to be sealed forever the 9th Gregorian chant, a profane, unholy invocation to the devil. San Francisco, 1977. Emily Blake has begun to hear strange, disembodied voices calling to her in her home. Her husband's lover has burned to death in a chair behind a locked door. The ancient charge of murder by witchcraft has been leveled at Emily. Emily, whose only hope may be a grotesque 11-year-old boy with a demonic sexual craving, a little boy who has already taken her once, evilly. A little boy who taught her the tune of a chant unheard for 1,500 years, Lupe. Alright, Lupe doesn't sound too bad. Alright, what we got here? Oh, the Sendai. I think we got the Sendai. So there's that. Sendai. Alright, we got the Sendai here. I think this one looks more like a thriller than a horror. I was going to make a video about the difference between horror and thriller, but I thought that people might start yelling at me. Maybe I'll make it anyway. Also on this page we got Strange Seed, which I have, but it's a slightly different cover. It looks pretty similar, but... So once again, cheating. Oh, the sun's going down. It's getting a little darker. Sorry, I got natural lighting today. Here's the Let's Go Play at the Adams. That was reissued, I think, by Valancourt, I believe. Oh, here's one that I really, really want. This is one I've always wanted and never been able to find. Chet Day, Halo. I just love this evil-looking jock guy. This is so high school, right? This thing is... It's perfect looking. Yeah, never been able to find it. Now it's probably too expensive. Sibling. We have Sibling. Alright, there is the Sibling. Says it's a... he was young and sensual, yet demonic and ungodly. Interesting. It looks like it would be about an evil twin or something, but it's not. Alright, it was getting too dark, so I had to turn on some lights, so if the lighting changed, sorry about that. Alright, we got Elizabeth here. I wish I had this Hellhound. Hellhound would be cool. I know that was also a reissue. Another Valancourt reissue. Alright, so we got Elizabeth, Jessica Hamilton. There we go. I still haven't read it. I remember when I got it, I posted it on Instagram, and I believe Will Erickson had commented and said that this book is wonderful. So many books, right, guys? I think one of the reasons I haven't gotten to it yet is there's no synopsis on the back. And it's just called Elizabeth. I don't know. It's not marketed very well. And that cover, it could be anything, right? It almost looks like a sci-fi cover. Fantasy, weird fiction. What is Elizabeth? Is it a thriller? Is it a serial killer? Is it a cult? We don't know. But Will Erickson said that it was awesome. So you should get to it. Oh, we got Ghost Child. We've shown this a few times. There's Dead White by Alan Ryan. The paperback warrior it said this is one of the worst books that they've ever read. So I think I did have it, and I think after Eric posted that, I was like, I just went and got rid of it. But I don't remember. I don't know. All right, here's our Ghost Child. This infamously made our bottom 10 80s horror paperbacks list video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that. It has a die cut. It's a kind of unexciting step back art here. So yeah, we have read Ghost Child. The problem with Ghost Child is that there's a prologue at the beginning. God, I say the same thing every time. There's a prologue, and it essentially tells this whole 400-some page novel in 10 pages, just with a different family. And then it just does the same story again and just stretches it out. Very thin, very filler. Ghost Child. All right, we got this Ramsey Campbell here, Dark Companions, and I believe we have the Surrogate. I wish I had Keeper of the Children with the decapitated killer teddy bear there. There's Ramsey Campbell, Dark Companions. I believe this is a short story collection, though I haven't read it yet. I'll say that a lot in this video. All right, I guess we don't have Surrogate. I think that sometimes you just see the books so many times pictured online that you get lost. You get lost in here as to what you got, what you have, and what you don't. I need a list. I need just a spreadsheet of it. All right, so we got The Voice of the Clown and The Kill. I believe we have both of those. And Voice of the Clown is right there. There's Voice of the Clown. I found this one at Second and Charles. I think it was like $2, which is crazy. Somebody didn't look it up, because that goes for Moolah. There's The Kill by Alan Ryan. I don't know this book. I don't know the book The Kill. I do know the Australian grindcore band The Kill, one of my favorites. Welcome to Deacon's Kill. Jack and Megan left the pleasures of New York success for the peaceful life of a small town in the Catskill Mountains. But Deacon's Kill is not at peace. A thing born of the mountains, something ancient and angry, stares coldly at them from the woods. Tonight it will reach out of the darkness again, and it will touch the kill. Okay. I don't know, man. Alan Ryan, I don't know. Oh, look, there's that unholy trinity from the beginning. So it's not in the Gothic section. Who knows? Who knows where all this stuff is? That was for all you fellow collectors out there. I know you know. I know you know what it feels like when you're like, oh, I have this? Oh, that's where that is. Abracadabra, we do not have. That would be a cool one to have, though. Stephen Gresham. John Coyne, Hobgoblin. We definitely have that. I found that many, many times. I think we got the hardcover, too. So if you don't know, cats are going crazy. So if you don't know John Coyne Hobgoblin, it is a Dungeons and Dragons gone wrong story. The dungeons are real, the dragons are real, the terror is here. That has step back art also. Oh, it's magical. What's that movie with Tom Hanks? Mazes and Monsters? Which came first, Hobgoblin or Mazes and Monsters? Let's see. Hobgoblin is from 1981. I don't know what year Mazes and Monsters is. I'll look it up. I'll put it up there. Oh, it's pictured right there, you dumbass. There's Mazes and Monsters. Does it say what year it's from? So yeah, they came out in the same year. The book, Mazes and Monsters, and Hobgoblin. Alright, When Animals Attack. We should have a bunch of these, I hope. I hope! So of course we start off with the iconic Jaws. This isn't the first edition. The first edition had a very basic version of this exact layout, which is photoed later on in here. I'll show it. But I love this cover. There it is, Jaws. I think this might be the first horror book I ever read. Read it as a kid, infatuated with the thought of real monsters swimming below the seas, below the oceans, and of course they're just animals doing their thing, and this caused a bunch of people to go out and kill sharks, which was terrible. Peter Benchley felt horrible afterwards, and donated lots of money to the Shark Preservation Society. I don't know what it's called. That's what happens when you do stuff. The seat of your pants. Alright, Jaws. So we got the rats. We do not have James Herbert, The Fog. We do have the rats, but I don't have that cover. And my cover isn't even worth pulling out. It's like dark and it's all beat up. So we'll skip that. There's a lot of books to show. Oh, look at all the dogs. Man's worst friend. Man, we don't have any of those. After I said that I would have a bunch of these. And I don't have any. I have different ones. Yeah, there's the cats. Yeah, once again, I don't have any of these. I do have a bunch of other cat books. That one is amazing. Look at that. Like, fucking Angry Rabbit. The Folly. Oh, I would love to get a hold of that. We got The Farm, Killer Pigs. Oh, this one's a sad one, and we do have this one. Orca. I wish I had this. This killer is one that is also up there with the Halo, the Chet Day, that I really want. That one also has been reissued. But I want the original. Yo, I want the original. Alright, Orca. Arthur Herzog. And there's Orca. This poor killer whale being stabbed by humans. Orca, the killer whale. Orca, the killer whale, is one of the most intelligent creatures in the universe. He hunts in packs like a wolf. Incredibly, he's the only animal other than man who kills for revenge. I don't think that's true, man. I don't think that's true. I don't know. Maybe it is. I doubt it, but I'm not looking it up. Where's Orca? There's my cover of the rats. Not very exciting. Okay, then we got some crabs, which I was just gifted from Justin from Fathom Press. Sent me his crabs books. He said he didn't like them and asked me if I wanted them. So we have some crabs. Alright, so there's Crab's Moon. Crabs on the Rampage. Killer Crabs. And we do not have Crabs to Human Sacrifice. Maggots, slugs, ants, eat them alive. Someone commented on one of my horror videos that this is the worst book ever, but amazing at the same time. I don't know. Very, very hard to find. Squelch, Blight, Slither, Croak. Croak, I think I would go with Croak if I could pick any of these. Bloodworm. That one just looks cool. Looks like a fantasy. The Nest. We're not reading The Nest. That one sounds terrible. Oh, a Richard Matheson Creatures. The giant gator. Richard Matheson is awesome. One of my favorite writers. Oh, back to The Nest. The Nest is the cockroach book. It's kind of like if you've ever seen that X-Files episode, the cockroach. The cockroaches, they invade the town. They're everywhere. It's disgusting. We don't do cockroaches. We got some Garden of Evil plants here. Edmond Plante. There is Garden of Evil right there. I haven't read this one, but I did read Transformation. You know what, just real fast, break our own rules again. This one isn't featured in the book, but this is an awesome body horror, disgusting book, but it's rad. It's not over disgusting. It's not disgusting for the sake of being disgusting, but it's disgusting. All right, chapter 4, Real Estate Nightmares. So we got Burnt Offerings, which we don't have the paperback, but we got the hardcover, which is the exact same cover. So I'm going to count it. I'm going to count that as a check mark. We're going to check that one off. Hell House, do not have. Speaking of Richard Matheson, that's one that I would love to get. Not the best looking cover they got going on there. Amityville, we do not have any of those. We do have Witch House, and we have 666. So, 666. It's in a bag. I'm not going to pull it out for the step back because it's pictured right there, all nice and big. And Walton. There is Witch House. I believe my wife started reading this and she was not into it. I don't know, I think she wanted something more witchy. Everlasting Horror. The little girl saw the evil that had been bequeathed her by the house that had bedeviled her ancestors. And there was no escaping it. It lived at the lonely mansion off the New England coast. It followed her, possessed her, and it would not die. Dr. Gaylord Carew, acquainted with such supernatural phenomenon, had been called to Witch House by the child's mother in a desperate attempt to break the spell. But neither the mother nor Dr. Carew was fully prepared for the rage of the powers of darkness, or for the terrifying retribution that threatened all who dared defy the black will of Witch House. So, yeah, haunted house. Not a witch story, I guess. Not an occult story, but a haunted house story. Just put that step back there for 666. Oh, the William W. Johnstones. So we got Cat's Eye and the Devil's Cat. William W. Johnstone. There we go. See if we can't get it to do the thing. Not with that light on it. Get it closer? Maybe? Is it working? I don't know, I can't tell. And then there's Cat's Eye with the baby with the cat head. Iconic, creepy, nightmare fodder. We got effigies here. William K. Wells. There we go. That's one of my favorite covers. I think it's one of the books pictured in my blog background. I really like the light. I really like the infected human, the bright red eyes. Very monstrous. We got the double step back here. Harvest Home. We don't have any of those. Those are cool though. I think Night Nerves did. What did Night Nerves do? He did one of those. I think it was Harvest Home. Maynard's House? I don't know. So we got The Abyss here, which I don't know what cover that is. That looks like a UK cover. Just looks like one. Looks exciting. I do have it, but it's the US version. Not as exciting. There it is. So yeah, how can you even compare? Look at that. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Death Tour. We do not have that one. It's very cool looking though. I would like to have it. We got some of these. We got The Night Train, which is a great book. This made our top 10 80s horror paperbacks. Children of the Island. I believe I have that one. Fritz Leiber, Our Lady of Darkness. I don't have that cover though. Night Train, Thomas F. Montalone. Somebody corrected me when I did the pronunciation of that, and I don't remember what they said. There's Night Train. It's about a entrance into a hellish other dimension down in the New York City subways. And this is bonkers. This is a crazy book, but it's a lot of fun. I loved it. I know, I think that, speaking of Will Erickson, he said that he didn't like this book, which is crazy. We're going to talk about that. Come on, Will. What are you thinking? Night Train. What else did I say? Oh, The Children of the Island. There we go. Yep, Children of the Island. Yeah, I do. All right, so then we got Ramsey Campbell, The Parasite. The Campbell-nator. Ramsey Campbell, Parasite. Sorry, kind of speeding it up here. I didn't realize this was going to take so long. Chapter 5, Weird Science. Novel by Robin Cook, Coma. That one's kind of unappealing. Oh, Jane Williamson. So we have the Tulpa, but we don't have this cover. We have a better cover, actually. And we have this Heads. I think I have this Nick Sharma, but it's in the science fiction section, and I'm not pulling that out. Let's get Heads and Tulpa, though. All right, so here we got Heads. This is one of the first 80s horror paperback books that I got after realizing this existed. So I had been buying old horror books. I bought them because I like B movies, and I wanted more B-style storytelling. And then I found out that this existed, and I knew that Heads was in it. So I picked up Heads. I'm not too much into the medical horror genre, but it's an iconic cover. Maybe we'll get to it someday. Maybe. All right, and here's our Jane Williamson Tulpa, which, man, why wouldn't you use this cover instead of that one? This is so much better. But not featured in the book. Breaking the rules. I have not been impressed with Jane Williamson, the ones that I've read. Not my favorite author. But I will say I did find a ton of his books, so I have a bunch of them. Before I had read any of them, I probably had like 12 of them. And then I started reading them, and I was like, But luckily I bought them all before the prices got all blasted up. So they were only a couple bucks a piece. We got Starry Starry Nightmare. I like these. They are, what are they? So we got these like astrology Gothics here. You can see that. And I do have one of them, but they're in the Gothic section. Let me just double check, because last time I said that it wasn't in the Gothic section. Let's see if I got it here. Okay, yeah, that one is definitely in the Gothic section. So I'm not gonna go dig that out. I don't have any of these horror scopes, as cool as that looks. Fury, Nightmare Candidate. I don't have that. Brainwatch. That's a cool looking cover. There's another Jane Williamson, but I don't have that one. Brotherhood. And we got some zebras here. Children's Ward. We do have Children's Ward. Trisha Wallace. There's that. Classic zebra. The zebra horror logo. I had actually written zebra to see if I could get the rights to officially license that to make t-shirts, and they said no. So I know I like to make the t-shirts, but I probably won't be touching that one because we were directly told not to. So you will never see a zebra horror t-shirt from me. Ooh, it's raining outside. It's a nice rainy, overcast day. Perfect video for looking through the Paperbacks from Hell book. Oh, here's another one that's very high on my want list, and that is The Mall. Yeah. Oh, we do have Hot Blood, the erotic horror anthology. I'm not going to pull it out. It's in a stack. It'll fall over, and I'll have to get up, and I just don't want to. Here's some computer horror. We do not have any of that. The old Neerman there, pin. My friends over Literally Books just did a video on this. I'll go ahead and put that link down in the description so you can check it out. They did a wonderful job. They covered the movie too, the book and the movie. I've only seen the movie, I haven't read the book. So here we are in chapter 6, Gothic and Romance. So we got the V.C. Andrews Flowers in the Attic, which I do believe we have that exact cover. Oh no, we don't have the exact cover. This is the UK first edition though. So this is the first edition, but it's the UK version. More V.C. Andrews. Oh, this very cool interview with the vampire. Probably the best cover. We found that at the Book Maze in Arizona, which if you live in Phoenix, Arizona, is a wonderful store. I mean, I haven't been there and since I moved to Ohio, but I pulled many of these books that I'm showing, I pulled from that store. So let's grab that Anne Rice interview with the vampire. So yeah, there we go. That is very gothic, very classic gothic horror cover. Yeah, I love that. Very romantic. Let's see. Got some. We do not have this Live Girls, but that's definitely one that I would love to get. When I first started the Book Graveyard blog, the intention was to get a bunch of people to contribute to it. So I asked a bunch of people that I followed on Instagram, fellow horror book people, and that was one of the ones that, oh, I don't remember her name now, but a different account. So there's one of the few reviews on the blog that are from a different person. But that is one book that I would like to read. There's the original Jaws. Here is one that I am currently after, Moon of the Wolf by Leslie H. Whitten. Let me get a close-up of that. Okay, so this was made into a made-for-TV movie, and I've watched the movie several times, and I would love to get that book. I first saw it pictured in the Paperback Fanatic. If you don't know about the Paperback Fanatic, it is a fanzine that covers all the different genres of vintage fiction, not just horror, but it does include horror. And I'll put a link down there for that too. We got False Idols, Betty Firm. So there's our False Idols by Betty Firm. Pray in Hebrew, pray in English, pray for me too, Richie. Keep on praying no matter what you see, and when the demon walks through that door, be my hand as well. For Fran Rubin, the sudden, mysterious death of her best friend, Eleanor Friedman, was an omen that some malevolent force had taken control of her life. There was no rational explanation for the icy presence in the house, for the strange visions, for the vanished mezuzahs, for the violent and macabre behavior of Eleanor's young son Richie, or for the chilling premonitions that stalked her heart. Terrible, frightening things were happening to her, and no one believed her. Was she losing her mind, or was some ruthless evil force trying to destroy her? Nothing would help her now, except the power of God. Yeah. This electrifying novel of the supernatural goes beyond The Exorcist to weave a breathtaking tale of possession in a peaceful Jewish community. Interesting. Definitely has Gothic vibes in there, where no one believes her. Things are, the walls are closing in around her. No one believes her. Is she the only one? Is it all in her head? Very Gothic tropes. We got The Nestling. I believe we have that. Charles Grant. No, we don't. We have The Pet. We don't have The Nestling. The Longest Night. Jane Williamson. We do have that. There we go. I'm pretty sure I got all the Jane Williamsons at the Book Maze in Mesa, Arizona. Amulet. Oh, we got some Michael McDowell here. We got The Elementals and The Blackwater. See, I have this pretty beat up copy of The Elementals here. And then as far as paperbacks, we've got Blackwater 2, 3, 4, and 5. We need 1 and 6. If you got them, you want to trade? I'm not paying $1 million for them. And just because it's cool looking, I got the hardcover, which contains 1 through 3. So I do have 1. I can't start reading it. I just don't know what the end will be. That definitely looks like Michael Whalen doing the cover art there, because it looks like the H.P. Lovecrafts that came out in the 90s. See if they give him credit for it. I may be wrong. It may not be Michael Whalen. Maybe they were just inspired by him. So yeah, no credit there. I don't know. I guess I could look it up. Bastards. Bastards. Got some pumpkin covers. The Man's Pranks. Usher's Passing. We do have those. Oh boy. Alright. There we go. There is The Man's. Mons. The Monse. I'm not sure how to say that. Happy Halloween. Until tonight. Tonight is the 13th annual House of Horrors. It will be the last. Tonight at the witching hour, all hell will break loose. Happy Halloween, kids. There is Pranks with the weird pumpkin girl, pumpkin face girl there. She's morphing into a pumpkin, the hatchet in her head. Poop. There we go. I've read some McCammons, but not this one. I heard it's really good, which I think, you know, all of his books are. This Ray Bradbury October Country. I have a much cooler cover than that. Though not very horrific. Still more appealing than the, what's pictured there. That looks like a sci-fi novel. Black Ambrosia, we don't have that. We got Chapter 7, Inhumanoids. Look at the evil eye. That's very... Wow, that is amazing looking, huh? Evil eye. Snowman. So that's the UK cover for Snowman. I've talked about this book many times. It's the first horror paperback that I read that I knew was like this. Even though I found it out before I knew Paperbacks from Hell, I kind of just lumped them all in my brain now. But, you know. So I got this boring US edition. But I love this book, and if you're having a hard time finding it, my friends over at Fathom Press are reissuing it. It's not out yet. It's going to have wonderful cover art, hopefully similar to that, something like that. Stephen Andre always does a great job, all the Fathom Press stuff. So this is the review copy. So I'm going to be reviewing that soon, but I love Snowman. So be on the lookout for that from Fathom Press. So we got Shinglo, which is like a Vietnam horror. There's Shinglo. It's Kane. I have many men's adventure books, many war books having to do with Vietnam, but I think that's the only horror book I have that is Vietnam, has a Vietnam backstory. Jack Williamson, Darker Than You Think. I love that cover. The man turning into the beast. We have that one. There we go. It's labeled as science fiction, which just goes to show you, all you horror fans, look in all the different shelves, all the different genres. If it's, look through all the science fiction, fantasy, look through the mystery, you'll find horror everywhere. People just don't know how to put it on the shelf. And, you know, back in the day, it wasn't specifically labeled horror. You know, obviously H.P. Lovecraft knew, but horror was often lumped in with fantasy. So yeah, Darker Than You Think. We got this at the Bookery in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Do you guys remember where you bought all of your books? Just me? I remember most of them. This is one of my favorite sections of this book. Just these are the type of books that I look for. Just look at the Bamboo Demons, man. Just look at that shit. I like the folklore type of stories, and I love the Native American subgenre, as I've mentioned before. So we have the Crooked Tree down there. We do not have Totem, which is one we really, really, really want. So let's grab the Crooked Tree. There we go. This one has insane step-back art, and we're going to actually open the bag and show you. Where's my bookmark? Alright, so we got the Crooked Tree there, and then we got some werebear action. You guys like that? It's getting kinky. It's getting kinky in the Crooked Tree. It's werebear ladies. Having some post-coitus meal, this man. And then we got Chumash, Gary Thompson. Here's another one that I want, the Skeleton Dancer. I love that cover. Yeah, I love the Native American books. I actually have quite a few that aren't pictured in here. But this is already enough books to look through, so we're not going to pull them out. There is Chumash. I almost started reading this a couple months ago, but I don't know. It's so fat. It's you know, these this era of paperbacks they're fatties, man. 1986. It's 400 pages. We will, though. We will read it. We gotta get those big fat books back in our reading lineup. We've been spoiled by the previous generation's shorties. So, oh yeah, just look at all these. Man, I would love to have all of these. I only have one. I have When the Spirit Walks. Just look at those. Yeah, that's my favorite. My favorite sub genre. When Spirits Walk, Christine Gentry. So if you saw my top 10 80s horror paperbacks video, this was on the top 10 list. This is an insane Native American slasher, supernatural, just, it's awesome. It is wonderful. Christine Gentry, When Spirits Walk. Supernatural Murders, Bloody Beyond Belief. Yeah, it has great folklore, and it's very gory. It's a very gory book. If you want lots of splatter, but not punk. It's not punk, just splatter. Got some Graham Masterson here. Mirror, we got that. There we go. Graham Masterson, Mirror. Mirror, Father, Mirror. Little ghost world for you. Okay, this is a long video. We're getting silly. We are getting silly. There's some more, some zebras we do not have. Some Ruby Jean Jensen. We don't have those Ruby Jeans. Some more Jane Williamson, Jack Ketchum. We do not have. Carrying Comfort. We do have Tricycle. So we'll get that one. There's Tricycle. I've heard it's not that wonderful. Much cooler looking cover than the content inside the pages. And do we have the Dan Simmons? No. Okay, we don't have Carrying Comfort. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. I would love to get that one. We really like the occult. When I keep saying we, this is my wife and I's collection. This isn't just me. A lot of these are hers, which is why I have no intention of reading them, but I do own them because she bought them and it's in our collection. So chapter 8, Splatterpunks, Serial Killers and Super Creeps. So there's the killer riff. It's the kill riff, not the killer riff. We have the kill riff. We got a different cover though. There's the kill riff. There's theirs. So technically it doesn't count. I started reading this and I wasn't that into it, but everyone says that it's awesome. And I just could not get into it. It just seemed, I felt like I could see the end coming. Like from page 50, and once again, 400-page book, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. So maybe I'll give it another shot someday. I don't know. Did you read it? Did you like it? What should I keep reading it? What did you like about it? Skip Inspector, Stage Fright. There's a iconic image that's been republished. They reissued it. Oh, Phantom of the Soap Opera. I have Phantom of the Soap Opera. I have read it. It was okay. It was kind of like what you would expect. So yeah, it was very soap opera. It really was. It was like a soap opera. I don't know if I would call it a horror. It was definitely more on the thriller side. It's a regular old serial killer stalker. But yeah, something for your grandma to read. Your daytime TV fans. Do they still have soap operas? Do they still have television? I don't know. Oh, I have Save the Last Dance for me too. Oh, she's not in the right place. There it is. So yeah, we got Save the Last Dance for me also by Judy Miller. I'm assuming another thriller. Got some ballerina going on there. You want a ballerina book? There you go. Oh, I think we also have this Below the Line. Ugh, this horrific cover of this child and terrified of this man, Jaron Summers. Yep. There we go. Yeah, not a fan of the kids in the books getting it. I've said it before, there's many assholes in this world that you can put into your book that can get it, more deserving. So leave the kids and the animals out of it. And then we're definitely getting into thriller area here with Red Dragon. I believe we have, I don't know, I don't have that cover. I know that. You know, I don't need to pull out Thomas Harris Red Dragon. You guys got it? You understand? There's some more thrillers. If I have any of these, they might be in my thriller section. There's an iconic cover. The Dying Breath. They had that at Bookman's in Mesa, Arizona. And they had it in you know, it's funny, I used to go to Bookman's when I lived there, and they'd have all these like $3, all the horror books were like $3, $4, $2. And then all of a sudden I went in one day and they had them in these like protective cases so you couldn't steal them, and the books were like $20. And I was like, oh no, that's the end of that one. But you can still find horror books for $3 and $4. And just because a book is expensive doesn't mean that it's good. So yeah, so we do have Headhunter, Michael Slade, that is over in the other area. In the thriller section, I believe we have this Dark Forces, which is in our kids section. There's the other Black Christmas we do not have. I just watched a video by Exclamation Station, which is a great new horror channel on YouTube, if you guys aren't aware of him. He did a review, I guess. It was in his list of good books to check out. So you should go watch that video by him. Or at least go check out his channel. I don't know what's going on here. Death Rattle. Poppy Z Brights, Lost Souls. We have that, but it's not a very exciting cover. And we're almost to the end, and I don't want to dig it out. So yeah, there we go. So there was our Paperbacks from Hell. I know that like 4 years ago, a bunch of channels did this. They showed off their books. And some of them just showed horror books. They didn't show specifically what was in here, and some just showed what they had that was in this book. So yeah, that was cool. It was a lot of fun. I love these books. You love these books. And Will Erickson loves these books. And he's going to be here live this Saturday, July 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live Q&A. Tune into it. Do not miss out. It's going to be an event. Event of the year. Maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. And yeah, see you later.